Hi, I'm Amy from littledragonbaking.com, and I have created this new series of YouTube videos called Do I Need That Baking Thing? They're very basic, but I wanted to share with other new bakers if it's worth it to go out and buy something that you might not have at home already, or if techniques using things that you already probably have work just as well. And this will have a little bit of my preferences, of course, but I'll go through and kind of show you the different results. So today we're going to make a very basic pie crust, and we're going to use the fork method of cutting your butter into your flour versus using a pastry cutter. Now, pastry cutters aren't that expensive, so you may be wondering why bother watching this video, but these little purchases add up, and they did for me. I bought everything, and all of a sudden I have containers and containers of baking gear. So hopefully I can save you the trouble just by watching me go through the process using both techniques, and you can decide whether it's probably worth running out and buying things. Obviously, I will have preferences and I will have biases, which will become clear, but I still hope it helps you. This is definitely for kind of new bakers. I have limited amounts of patience, and I try to be very honest about when something might work really well, but I kind of lose patience with the technique, so hopefully that's helpful as well to other new bakers and just normal people who have limited amounts of patience and time. So I hope this helps you guys out there, and you stick with me for watching me make partially make two different pie crusts. Alright, I'm back for our first method, which is going to be the forks. I've put the ingredients in my bowl. As you can see here, here's what I'm starting with. Now this is half butter and half shortening recipe. There are some all butter. I'm using one that uses 6 tablespoons of butter and 3/4 cup of shortening. Just for reference, you can look it up on Sally'sBakingAddiction.com. I really love her recipe, so that's a shout out I have to make. And I'm going to start with the method using actually 2 forks. Okay, so you only need one in my intro, but you use 2 forks. And what you do is you take them, and this is going to be kind of awkward because I don't have a very high-tech setup. I'm going to kind of show you that you cross them and you pull. And this way you want to mash your butter, which should be chilled. You want your ingredients cold. This recipe also calls for you to chill the shortening, and you're just going to do a pulling motion. Now, because this butter is chilled, it's a workout. You want to get your butter not to melt too. You want it to stay cold. Chilled butter is crucial for pastry, and keeping things cold is important. So I've actually chilled my forks, which probably won't keep them cold for long, but hope springs eternal. And I've chilled I'm using a metal mixing bowl, so I could chill that as well. Now, I'm just gonna keep on going. Now, I'm not gonna do this the whole way because you don't wanna watch me do this for the next 5 minutes, but I'm gonna describe and kind of show you that after you're watching me do this, what you have and how far you've gotten. Now, this is kind of an awkward motion. Some of the pros are that you can't use a hand to steady the bowl. The pastry cutter is a one-handed tool, so you can have one hand on your bowl. As you can see, my bowl's not moving too much, but it will spin on you. And it's just a slower process. It's awkward. I would like to say it's a good arm workout, but I really don't think I'm going to develop muscles from doing this. I think I'm just going to be kind of annoyed and sore. As you can see, I'm still going, and I'm still really not at the point I want to be at. Sally's Baking Addiction has some really great photos for those of you at home to see where you should go. I'm slowly starting to get there. I've been working at it for about 2 minutes. In my intro, I implied that maybe I would save you from methods that don't work. And the truth is that this will work. It's used by a lot of people out there, and a lot of people will tell you it works just fine, which is true. I guess I should amend it to say I will try to save you from methods that are probably a little more annoying than is worth it, and may not work quite as well. The first time I did this, I swore I was never making pie crust again. I just said this was not fun. It was a headache, and I didn't really love the results because I got impatient. So as you can see, I'm clearly biased with this method. It's not my favorite. It will work, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who tell you it'll work just fine. Stop being a baby. But as you can see, I'm still going. I'm sure you don't want to keep watching me, so I'm going to show you where we're at after about 2.5 minutes. So I'm just going to move and show you the inside of my bowl. As you can see in the middle, I've kind of started to get there, but around the edges I've still got mostly flour. There we go. As you can tell, I'm a novice at these videos. I'm definitely not where I want to be just yet. There I am. And I've still just really not done a very good job of mixing throughout, and it's still going. So I'm going to spare you watch me do this for the next probably another 5 minutes to get where I want to be. And just for those at home, that would be about pea-sized. And there's a lot of great tutorials out there that'll do better. And then I'm going to do this again and show you how easy it is with the pastry cutter, so you can see where we're going with this tutorial, I'm sure. Give you a really quick shot of where I ended up on my fork method. I don't want to hold this up as the ideal place to end up, but I'm going to be very honest in these videos. This is where I really lost patience. I did this for maybe another 2.5, 3 minutes, not the 5 minutes I predicted. And as you can see, I've still got some chunks right around the edges here that are a little big, but you can see I've got the flour mostly incorporated, and it's not terrible, but some people have all the patience they need for this method. I'm gonna be real, I don't. And for those of you who also may not have as much time or patience, you can get further than this, but I was tired of doing this. So this is about where I reached my stopping point. And it's not gonna work. It's gonna be fine. But I could have kept going and gotten the chunks of butter and shortening a little smaller before moving on. Here we are for our grand finale of this already too long baking video, which you already know how it ends. Bear with me. So, same ingredients, same bowl, different tool. And as you can see, I'm kind of using just a basic motion like this with my pastry cutter. Some important points are, it is a larger tool, so it's gonna get more done when you do this. And sometimes you'll have to kind of scrape stuff off that'll get stuck, but I can steady my bowl, and this is important. I'm sure there are people out there saying, why are you doing this in a bowl? You could just do it on a floured countertop or flat surface. Some people, okay, a lot of people probably think this is easier, but I already make enough of a mess when I'm baking that I really just don't want to spread it all out. And it's kind of messier, it kind of gets everywhere. I like it being contained in a bowl. That's my preference. There are probably people who will argue with me, but for those of you, I've already got a messy countertop that you can't see with all my ingredients that I'll have to clean up. I'm just trying to be honest. We don't all bake in a sterile, well, we bake in a sterile kitchen because we want our kitchens to be clean, but by the end, it looks like a tornado hit my kitchen. It's not clean anymore, and I just don't like cleaning. Like, I don't like using forks to make pastry. So I use a bowl. I like that it's contained. Some people say it's easier. I find this more comfortable. So let me talk a little bit about this tool. It's got a really comfortable grip. I saw 2 at the store. I did spring for the one that was $2 more. Like I said, they're not expensive tools. And it's really just comfortable to use. For whatever reason, I find it a lot easier than the forks. It works a lot faster. I've been doing this for just about 2 minutes, and I'm already a lot closer than I was at the end of the last video. Like I said, it kind of gets more surface area covered, and it was just made to do this. Since it's not expensive, I'm sure you're like, why did you just not tell me this at the beginning? Why are you doing this twice to show me? Because everyone needs a hobby, okay? So I'm going to stop at about the same point I did last time, where we saw with the forks where I was at when I stopped, and I'll show you how far I've gotten with the pastry cutter. I'm still not quite there, but this is important. It's been a more pleasant experience. And that's why I'd recommend this tool for you. It's not expensive. You can try it with the fork first. I almost never made a pie crust again just because I was annoyed. And like I said, I'm just trying to be honest in these videos. For those of us who aren't saints full of patience, who love cleaning their kitchens afterwards, like, this is for you. So, alright, let's see where we got with our pastry cutter. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Super high tech over here, like I said, nice and honest. Alright, so, you can kind of see that I've got a little more of the flour incorporated. I still have a little ways to go, so maybe it's not the super express tool I want it to be, but I think that it makes pie crust making a lot less arduous, a lot less annoying. It's just more comfortable for me. I really do recommend this tool. I spent about 10 minutes telling you and making 2 batches of pie crust to tell you to go buy this tool. It's about $11 to $12. I think I got the XO brand. If you're thinking of making more than a pie crust a year, if you think you might want to make a seasonal pie crust for spring and fall and summer, you know, a few times a year, it's worth it. It doesn't take up much space. Go buy yourself a pastry cutter. Those forks are going to make you angry. And that is the conclusion of this video that you hopefully are still watching. And like I said, hopefully you got a few other tips. You know, you can do this in a bowl, you can do this flat, keep all your ingredients cold. Always use sallysbakingaddiction.com. I'm not getting paid to say that. And thanks for watching.